So it's nighttime, right? And you hop into the dumpster with your flashlights and you're scanning through and you're ruffling through all this trash, and there's tomatoes and there's avocados and there's filet mignon and there's wild Alaskan salmon, and in the middle of all this food are price tags. So today we're going to talk about value. So Idea Channel just put out this really interesting video about how value gets created on social media platforms. And the video asks some really interesting questions.
What you see as the relationship between social media posts and the ideas of value or worth. What is the connection that you can draw between those things, and what do you see your relationship to it being?
I thought I would explore those a bit, because I think I've got a pretty interesting story to tell. So I'm a dumpster diver. One thing that I really love about dumpster diving is it forces you to confront these questions of value head on. You hop into a dumpster late at night, you shine your flashlight onto the ground, and there's dirt and fresh food. Dirt and fresh food mixed together. The valuable and the useless completely intertwined. And wrapping up this dirt and fresh food, there's price tags. All the price tags you could ever imagine. $1.39, $2.99, $83, $22, all these wasted symbols tossed into the dumpster along with the objects that they used to signify. The packaging is damaged, or they got a new shipment of bananas, or whatever it is. So the grocery store can no longer sell those products, and so they're considered worthless. But of course, they're not worthless. They have value. They're very usable, but they're only usable in the right context. I was living in this collective house, and so we had a big enough kitchen that it made sense for me to go out and dumpster food for all these people. And I would get into the dumpster, and there would just be these price tags everywhere, and all of this food beating me over the head that the symbols that we use to define value are meaningless in this arena. Why is it that I could find them meaningless when they had so much power in other parts in the world? I would bring this food back to my collective house of undergraduate students who were each paying $50,000 a year to go to this school, except I wasn't paying $50,000 because the government was paying most of it. So I was in an environment that allowed me to extract value out of a place that everybody else decided was worthless. And the only reason I was in that environment was because, how do I compress this story into something that you're going to want to watch? I have no idea. This is really hard. We live in this world where everything is governed by money. Money beats us with this message over the head that value is universal, that a dollar is a dollar no matter where you are. But the truth is actually just the opposite. Dumpstering has forced me to confront the ambiguities of value head on. A couple of years ago, the existential crisis brought on by dumpstered wealth really hit me quite hard. And I was really pondering and scratching my head trying to figure out how value was created. Not surprisingly, I turned to social media. I started a Kickstarter campaign to raise money for an underground restaurant I wanted to start called the Gleaner's Kitchen that was going to be serving 100% dumpstered food all for free. I packaged the idea quite well. You know, the video had some really good shots of some tomatoes coming out of the trash. It exploded. It really flabbergasted me. I was on the radio. I was on Huffington Post. I got a chance to write a cookbook. Look at this cookbook. It's like a real thing made out of paper, and I got to write it because I posted a video on YouTube. Apparently it's worth $24.99, whatever that means. The funny thing about all the social media attention that I got for the Gleaner's Kitchen is it didn't really amount to that much. Or maybe it did, but in a strange way, because all of that attention also attracted the attention of my landlord, and very quickly we got evicted. And the eviction left me even more muddled about the value of things than I was before. I think about this a lot, and I'm trying to translate my thoughts into this YouTube video, and it's proving surprisingly difficult. I think because at the heart of it, value is just like this very muddled thing. We live in this strange world where value is defined in this single one-dimensional metric of money. Everything that you could possibly imagine has to be translatable into this dull, green, quantifiable, measurable thing, or it's worthless. But there's utility to it, because having this universal language of money to quantify value allows incredible exchanges. But you also run the risk of sucking all of the meaning out of those exchanges. Now we're here. We're in a world where value can be created by people dumping water on their heads. That's a valuable action. So I guess what I'm trying to say is that the way that value gets created is mysterious, but it's also understandable. Value only exists with respect to a value you were. And as our world becomes more interconnected, a virtual interaction over the internet can be valued for its own sake, and not necessarily because of any dollar signs that it produces down the road, because dollars aren't the only thing that's meaningful. Thanks for watching. And remember that everything and nothing are inexorably intertwined.
I find useful things and I put them where they need to be so that they can be useful and not trash.